Welcome to another episode of the Music City Drive-In, brought to you by the Drive-In Podcast Network. I am your host, Ricky Valero. On today's episode, we're going to give our updated look at the Oscar nominations. Obviously, with a lot of the big award circles announcing their nominations over the last week, we figured we'd get back together and give you guys a better look of the landscape of the 2021 Oscars. As always, I'm joined here by Jacob. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. And also joining us this week, Kenzie, how are you?
I'm good. I love PTO so much. Just living it up on a Monday.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to kind of get together in the middle of the week and, just podcast. So,
middle of the week.
Whatever. It is what it is.
Let's go with that.
It is. It's technically the middle of the week because there's the weekend and then there's the week. So, I mean, unless it's the weekend, I don't really care about anything. And that's the excuse I'm going to go with. So, but like I said, we're going to give you guys a look at what we feel the Oscars look like right now. Obviously, a lot of things have happened. We had SAG, we had Globes, we had a lot of Jared Leto, and then we had no Jared Leto today, which was very interesting. And after watching The Little Things, it's the little things that matter in life, and the little things.
Say it twice. Okay,
I was going to, I was going to follow it with the.
Okay.
The little things are.
It's the little things.
It's the little
things.
But we're going to talk about obviously the big categories today. Between picture, director, and all 4 acting categories. Where do you guys? We'll start obviously with supporting actress, but do you have any touches on anything that happened over this last week before we talk about the categories?
I don't get the Jared Leto thing. I felt a lot better that they didn't put him in at critics, but why is he everywhere else?
Yeah, Jared Leto getting double for Golden Globe and SAG, and then Delroy missing on Globe and SAG was it was insane to me.
Just wear a t-shirt. I'm a racist. I don't know.
It really hurts that Jared Leto is going to be what sort of starts to push Paul Raci out of the conversation, and it just had to be him. And it's it
would have been, I would have felt better had it been a second person from Trial of Chicago 7 or something.
Especially for Globes.
I just don't like that it's one, Jared Leto has an Oscar. Should he have it? No, but that's a different conversation. 2, it's not a movie that's going to be anywhere else. At least if he's going to get pushed out, which I still get this feeling is going to happen, push him out for something that's nominated for Best Picture, and they just went overboard with nominations. Not Jared Leto.
They should have gone Bo. They should have gone Bo.
That's what I kind of was in my mind. I was that would be really cool.
Yep.
But I didn't think it was going to happen. But if Jared Leto can happen, why can't Bo Burnham happen?
What if Bo Burnham pulls a Marina de Tavira and just out of no nominations anywhere, and then gets the Oscar nom?
That, and then I updated my Oscar predictions and moved Judas and the Black Messiah kind of down everywhere.
Same. Yep, Judas and the Black Messiah, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but the father definitely moved down a little bit too.
Oh, I moved it up in some places.
Really?
Yeah.
I think today, just taking history into today, having that and Judas both miss is I don't think CCA has gotten less than 8 out of the 9 correct picks. And I could definitely see Sound of Metal missing and one of the 2 getting in. And in my eyes, Judas would get in over the father. But
I don't think the father's a big Best Picture contender. But I think everywhere else, it's moving.
Yeah, I mean, the father has a good chance at winning supporting actress. I mean, I still think that it could dark horsely win Best Actor. I still think that. I mean, obviously, it's Chadwick's going to probably win. But if anybody does beat him, it's going to be Hopkins.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on Best Actor. Let's run into this.
But Ricky, do you have any thoughts? Like,
yeah, we never
Golden
asked you.
Globe, SAG, critics.
I mean, nothing really surprised me. A lot of the same. You know what I mean? It's been a lot of the same 7 to 8 names. You know what I mean? Mixed in to the entire.
And he's
thing.
like, and if you're at Critics' Choice, you put all 7 to 8 names as a nominee.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing about it is seeing that there's 8 nominations deep. It's hard for me to kind of take it seriously because really all you did was take the 8 names that everybody's talking about and nominate them, right? Except for maybe Tom Hanks, which is whatever. But I've said
there's
for
one
months,
of those. There's one of those you're very excited about.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of them that I'm very excited about.
But in lead actor,
Ben Affleck is the one that I'm super excited about because honestly, I would adore Ben Affleck getting nominated for probably his best performance of his career. I mean, and it's deservingly so. I mean, I'd put him in over. Sorry, Stephen Yeun. I'd put him over Gary Oldman. I mean, Tom Hanks. But I mean, but that's that's just.
I just want to say another thing that I noticed today. Oh, am I missing something about News of the World? Like,
no, it's not good.
I know that people like Paul Greengrass in the industry, but like, am I missing something?
I told you. I said
Did I have to move it up in every category today?
Yeah,
I said back in whatever we did our first Oscar show, I said it would not surprise me
if it turns into some.
Because if the thing with Tom Hanks is he's got a story. I'm not saying he's going to win. I'm just saying his nomination. He's got a story. He was the first big, well-known guy to have COVID. You know what I mean? Like actor-wise, and it makes too much sense. And it's I still don't know. We don't know what
I just don't want this movie to happen. I
don't want it either, but it doesn't. It's not that great of a movie. It's just not. It's not.
It wouldn't bother me if it was like only in text, but it's been like put into Best Picture in so many places, and like, why is he popping up in actor? Like, I'm sorry. If they nominate him for this and he wasn't nominated for Captain Phillips,
oh my God! I mean,
yeah.
I want to know what drugs they're on.
Yeah, the thing about it is it's not like there's not other viable contenders. Like, I mean, seriously, if it came down to Ben Affleck versus Tom Hanks for performance-wise, come on,
all the way.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
The only thing that like works for Tom is that like the movie's going to be elsewhere and it's going to be like a big tech player, and it's Paul Greengrass.
Yeah,
I don't get the love at all.
Yeah, it's weird.
If he takes David Fincher's spot in director somehow. Gloves will come off.
It would be hilarious. I do want to see some shakeup, but those are the shakeups I want to see.
Yeah.
Please God, no. All right. So like I said, we'll kind of kick it off with the supporting actress. I think the one thing, and I noticed it's a lot of places, Olivia Coleman's getting a real strong push here, and not just for her name. I mean, her performance is remarkable in The Father. I do think that this potentially could be a Glenn Close versus Olivia Coleman battle that is made up in Twitter that exists, but I think that it's really down to those two. What do you think, Kenzie?
I agree a lot. I think those are like we added to the site yesterday Kenzie's big Oscar board. It's color coded. It's really cool. Check it out. But those are like my only 2 locks really, and I feel like everyone else, like Amanda Seyfried and then Maria Bakalova, are like the other 2 that but I could see like Amanda missing still. But I really only think like Olivia and Glenn are locks, and it would be really entertaining to see them like go at it like back to back again.
Oh, for sure.
But I think if more people would see The Father, this would be Olivia Coleman's to lose. But because it's so hard to see, and I finally saw it, and it's just incredible. And she's so great in it. I just think that like if more people saw this movie, that she would be like the front runner in this category everywhere, versus like people just think there's too many people in the hunt for this one. But it's really between them. But I wouldn't be surprised if like, I don't know. It depends on also like all the people that I have hanging in the balance after Amanda Seyfried and Maria Bakalova are like, depending on how well the movie does at the Oscars. Yeah. So like if Minari does really well, I think it gets in here. If I'm scared about Ellen Bernstein, I personally think she should be a lock, but she's not. She's missed a lot of places, and she already has an Oscar. So like, I feel like people are like, meh. But she should really be a lock. And then if they really like Sound of Metal, I could see Olivia Cook just getting thrown in somehow.
Yeah, I feel like this is the easy category for some of these big picture themed films to kind of throw in.
Mhm.
Like, we really love Minari, so let's just, I still personally feel like she gave the best performance in the supporting role.
I still haven't seen it.
It comes out Friday.
You're close.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
The Father comes out in 6 years, so you can see
Yep.
that then, folks at home. But for me, I agree with you as well. Like, I love Olivia Cook. I think I wouldn't hate her being in this category. I thought she was fantastic. But Jacob, any thoughts?
Well, one name that you guys didn't say that is starting to creep up is Helena Zengel, and I hope she doesn't get in, but
If they really like it, they're gonna
yeah.
throw her in. But I just want to say, I'm really not into child actors not getting nominations after they did not nominate Jacob Tremblay. So if he would have been nominated, sure, nominate all the one. But
or just throwing child actors in supporting, even though the movie's about
when
them.
they're the lead, Minari.
But yeah, with me, I think the top 5 are all very confident. I would actually put Maria, starting to put her in the lock. Basically because yesterday she won
everywhere.
And yesterday she won the London, which could lead to her winning, or at least getting like close to winning in Bafta, which if she wins Bafta, like that's like really telling of this not being like a centric kind of.
But I do think Olivia Coleman has Bafta locked and loaded.
I thought so too until Maria won the London Critics yesterday.
Yeah, but Bafta also reminds me that she could be J-Lo too. You know what I mean? Like, I really do like no offense to Borat. I'm not taking away from her performance, but I mean,
where else does everyone have Borat showing up?
Like a late adapted screenplay, maybe.
Makeup?
Yeah, I could see. Well, makeup, original song, those two. I think those are the only 4 that it's really got any chances.
If she's like on the bubble, I don't really think she is on the bubble. I think she's becoming sort of a lock. But then I do get JLo PTSD where I'm like, this is a Twitter thing and not a real thing.
Yeah.
But I think if they can get it somewhere else, then like, yes. But I think like at the same time, if she doesn't get it anywhere else.
Yeah, because they have so much other to give, right? Mank's in the conversation, absolutely. Minari, how much do they love Minari? And then it comes down to like if it comes down to that, then it's like, all right, so Baklava versus Bernstein versus Cook, maybe. How much do they love Sound of Metal? Do they love Sound of Metal more than they love Borat? You know what I mean? Which, I mean, if you were smart, you would. But I mean,
or it could turn into this is the only place we're going to put Borat.
Well, it's also supporting actress has become like the let's nominate a comedy like performance.
Yeah, like Melissa McCarthy.
So that's why I could easily see them be kind of defaulting towards
Ali and Bernstein. That was a fantastic comedy role.
But there is someone that I'm really stressed, and even after this morning, more stressed. Dominique Fishbach is so good in Judas and the Black Messiah, and like I personally like I tried not to watch like trailers after the first trailer for that movie, and I totally forgot she was in it. I really liked her on The Deuce. And I like that could have been such a typical like wife role, and it wasn't written like that, but then she like, I don't know, she just brought so much to it, and it like stresses me out that Judas is just not performing. I don't know what they need to do at Warner Brothers. I don't know.
Warner Brothers and SPC, they need to start getting stuff together.
I really had wanted Judas to be like a front runner for Best Picture, and then her gets swooped in somehow at the last minute. But I don't think it's going to happen. But I would just like to throw her lots of love.
Moving on to supporting actor, it's a strong category. I'd say, Jared Leto leading the top there.
Wait, I'm going to move him down. Just one.
But this category, I feel like there's, you have your anchors, you have Sacha Baron Cohen, you have Leslie Odom, you have Daniel Kaluuya. I think those are the anchors of the category. Obviously, of Chadwick Boseman kind of lingering around with the Five Bloods. Paul Racy's still around, Bill Murray's still around. I mean, I think that's the cream of the crop right there. I think that of those 6, we're probably looking at 5 of those. What do you think, Jacob?
See what you were saying about Maria, about like throwing Ellen Burstyn in. That's what I think they're going to do here with Bill Murray and say, this is a guy who got nominated like a few years ago, didn't get the win, and then came out and I think it was a very good performance, but I would put Paul Racy in over him probably 10 out of 10 times.
I mean, but I would put Bill Murray in over Sacha Baron Cohen, but that's beside the point. I mean, his performance is light years better. But,
I don't know about that one, but I think it's like you said. I think it's really anchored by the top 3, by Leslie, Sasha, and Daniel. Daniel should win. This is like a performance that he needs to win for. I just don't see him, at least at this moment, winning.
What if they start to realize like the movie overall isn't going to get tons of Oscar love and they focus the entire campaign on him?
I think that would be smart, but I don't think Warner Brothers has smart campaigns.
Because like towards the end of A Star Is Born's Oscar campaign, they shifted every single campaign focus to original song only.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it started with them only submitting one song, and then it changed to once they realized neither of them were in the running and he didn't get a director, they the entire campaign was just focused.
We're gonna get one Oscar out of this.
Yeah, but that was a really cool Oscar year where every single Best Picture nominee won an Oscar.
Yeah.
But maybe they would do that if they start to realize what we're all realizing, that it's not gonna happen. And then if it doesn't get a Best Picture nominee, it would hurt it. But then they could really focus in on his campaign, because every single person that's seen it talks about him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone that's seen it talks about this should be the front runner for Best Picture. So I don't understand why it's not the front runner for Best Picture. But I don't know. And he's obviously really liked. If you think about it, the horror genre has such a stigma around it at the Oscars, and he did get in.
Mm-hmm.
So they obviously already like him. And he'll probably win at the BAFTAs. Or no, Sacha Baron Cohen's also British.
Yep.
But he moved to Australia because he hates it. So... But okay, I really think Chadwick's a lock here. I don't think he's going to win. I think he's a lock for nomination because The Five Bloods is popping up absolutely everywhere. He broke SAG history. He has 4 nominations.
Yeah, this is the one where I think Chadwick gave a great performance, but up until what happened, it was always let's go for Jonathan Majors, let's go for Clark, let's go for these other people. And then I hate it. I mean, I think he's deserving, but it's just kind of one of those to where I feel like him getting nominated is going to take a little bit away from his Ma Rainey performance if that ends up winning. But I do think he's a lock as well.
So if you guys only have Sacha Baron Cohen, Leslie Odom Jr., Daniel Kaluuya, who do you have as the last 2?
I have Bill Murray and Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, I've got Bill and Chad.
So nobody has Paul?
No, I
feel like we all want it so badly.
I do know you and I were talking about the other day. I think Feinberg is the one that you told me that says that everybody's really high on Sound of Metal, and I think that I think this is one of those ones. It depends on if they're high on the film, then it's going to be everywhere, and this could easily be Racy's nomination. But I mean, I believe he's deservingly in that race, but I just don't see it. I don't, and it's sad because. But at the same time, it doesn't surprise me, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
After Ethan Hawke, I just get that feeling about smaller movies, especially Amazon movies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stop making them.
He would have to shockingly win.
He'd have to win
critics,
yeah.
And then he would have to somehow also win BAFTA, and I just don't see it.
2 Brits in this category.
Yep.
All right, let's transition over to lead actress. This is, I don't even know. I mean, it's very top heavy. I believe it's very top heavy with the big 3. And from there, it's kind of a disaster. I mean, there's not good performances. I'm just saying it's a disaster of what's to come. I mean, there's so many,
after the top 3, there are so many people that are newcomers. There are so many people that are well-known actresses.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's just like super overwhelming after those three.
Yeah, because you have Vanessa Kirby, who once upon a time was thought to be,
The front runner, and now I barely think she's getting in.
Yeah, and of course, then you have Amy Adams, who's lingering around with Hillbilly Elegy, which I think could easily overperform as a collective whole. It wouldn't surprise me, and it's Amy Adams. You know what I mean? Like that's it's like Amy Adams or Andrea O'Day. And say like it's like if it comes down to that, and I mean. I don't think I've heard one redeemingly good thing about the United States versus Billie Holiday outside of her. So I think that plays in a factor as well. But I mean, it's if we were picking a winner today, who are you picking, Kenzie? A winner?
Like who they're gonna pick?
Yes, they're the Oscar winner.
Viola Davis.
Same.
I'm picking Carrie. I think Promising Young Woman is going to do so well. I think I'll talk about it later, but I think I just have like a feeling that because it's been consistently like overperforming at everything, like director, picture, like it's just been getting like those sound nominations at every single thing, and I think she's going to win Globe, and I think she's going to win SAG, and I think like it's just going to start like really pushing towards Carey Mulligan finally like getting that Oscar win.
You think she's going to win SAG?
Yeah. At this point right now, I do.
I think this is for me. I think it's Viola Davis's to lose. I mean, I really do. I in my head, I just and I wouldn't be mad about it outside the fact that I really believe she's a supporting person in her own film that's named after her. But at the same time, I wouldn't hate I wouldn't even hate Frances winning. You know what I mean? I am on the Carey Mulligan train. I just don't know if that can win. It's just if it does, I would be extremely pleased. For me, I think Viola. I know we haven't done this with other categories, but I kind of want to put all you guys on the spot. Who are your 5 outside of those 3? So give me your other 2. Jacob?
So outside of Frances, Viola, and Carrie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going Vanessa Kirby, and then I think the 5th spot's so up in the air, but I think with getting the CCA today, she kind of stayed in it, and I'm actually still have Zendaya in that 5th spot right now.
Interesting.
Kenzie?
I would go. I don't know because I'm like I don't like Hillbilly Elegy, but I get this like feeling it's gonna like just do so much. So like if they like Hillbilly Elegy, it's gonna be Amy Adams and then maybe Vanessa Kirby, or it's gonna be Vanessa Kirby. I don't know. I feel like Sophia Loren might just like randomly pop up. I don't know.
My thing with Amy Adams is like, do they like they have to know she's not winning? Do they want to give her another one?
I mean, of course, it builds that narrative. I mean, it really does.
They love that shit. They want the ratings.
Yeah, they love the narrative of another loss by Amy Adams.
Or I don't know. I could see it being like Sophia Loren, Andrea Day, or Amy Adams.
Yeah, I have it. I think right now, like for me, it's. I think Kirby is on the cusp, but I feel like she's still a solid 4.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it comes down to Amy Adams, and I think Andrea Day. She still has a strong chance. I feel like
if she like wins somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think she will. But I mean, it comes down to like Amy Adams, and like if it comes down to that 5th slot, and you take the 4 that we have right here, and even if any of these other characters,
who do you guys think will win BAFTA here?
Carrie?
Vanessa Kirby has a BAFTA for The Crown.
I mean, I think Carrie probably. Right?
I think it's Carrie because I think isn't like that mostly like a British film already.
Yes.
So.
But Vanessa Kirby, like.
She is The Crown, so.
No, she's not.
She's like the Crown, the sister of The Crown.
In the first 2 seasons. God. Crown noobs.
All right, let's transition over to lead actor. We actually, this category is pretty heavy, I think, across the board. I mean, you have Chadwick, Anthony Hopkins at the top. And, of course, you have Riz, Delroy, Gary, Stephen Yeun, Ben Affleck, Tom Hanks is still even lingering around just because it's Tom Hanks. But I mean, we have probably all 93 people that were nominated by Critics' Choice all have a chance, I think, to get in at some point here. Jacob, you had said you had a lot to say, so the floor is yours.
I think they're gonna really like Sound of Metal, like you guys have been saying, and I think if there is someone that's gonna beat Chadwick, it's gonna be the same person who's beaten him at some of the other like live ceremonies, and I personally have Riz Ahmed in second place right now, just because I think The Father as a whole just feels like it's underperforming a little bit. And I think Anthony Hopkins already has the Oscar, getting him there is going to be great. But I think Riz Ahmed is really making a push towards like getting that ultimate win. And then also I hate it so much, but I feel like the 3, 4, 5 is so open to like, 4, 5, 6 is so open to like switch around. And right now I've got Gary Oldman and Stephen Yeun in and Delroy out. And so I'm really hoping Delroy picks up a win somewhere to kind of catapult him back into it, because missing both Golden Globe and SAG was just a huge miss, I think.
Kenzie?
So I have this okay, I love Mank. I'm like the only person that super loves it. I still feel like Gary Oldman can miss.
Yeah, I do. But I don't know.
I mean, if they really go into Mank, 11 nominations, yes, he gets in. If it's 6 or 7, he does not get in. But I think, I don't know, I can see it being Chadwick, Riz, Anthony Hopkins, Delroy, and Gary, or swap out Gary for Tom Hanks if that movie goes really big. Or if they really like One Night in Miami, what is stopping it from getting this? Maybe 2 supporting it? No, it'll only get 1. I don't know. Remember when we were maybe Lakeith Stanfield?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I still feel like Delroy can get in, even if he doesn't win anything. Because that movie's overperforming what I really thought it was going to at this point.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of Delroy. I think that his performance was one of the better of the year. I think that him missing in so many places, I think is just a testament to when the damn film came out. I think that hindered it a whole lot. I think Delroy, in my opinion, is going to get in. I still have Tom Hanks making it just because it's Tom Hanks, and it's just because.
But they don't like him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're gonna love this film, though. This film is.
But I mean, I think if it overperforms outside of text, he could get in. But if it really doesn't,
100%. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you, and I think what you said kind of goes hand in hand.
Paul Greengrass gets that stupid surprise Best Director nomination, Tom Hanks is in.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And I think Oldman and Seyfried go hand in hand. I think if one of them's nominated, the other one's going to be nominated. I truly feel it, because I think if, like you said, six nominees sounds about right for Mank. You know what I mean? But if it overperforms and it has a Irishman or American Hustle style nomination count, 10, 11,
they're going to throw it in everything.
Exactly. It's going to be overloaded and everything. So I really feel like those go hand in hand. So if we hear Seyfried first, I truly feel like we'll hear Gary Oldman as well.
You can tell with a lot of the more recent, the live ones, the more recent critics, it has been Mank leads nominations. Even today with Critics' Choice, it was Mank leads nominations. And I still feel like I feel like that movie's picking up once we get into the more live ones. And I think that's because I still see it in all of the texts. I see it in top 3, if not top 2. I think it's just going to do incredibly well.
I still think that the score could totally win. I really do. I personally prefer that score to Souls. I know that's not a hugely popular thing, but I love the score of Mank. I didn't love Mank, but I love the gore Mank, and it's
I just think
yeah.
like with Mank, I was always under the impression it wouldn't do well with critics, and then it would do well with like guilds and industry
Agreed.
awards, and that's like what's starting to happen. And then critics that are announcing after these awards are throwing it in because like critics are chasing to be correct with Oscar nominations, not have reward something actually. No offense.
Well,
But that's what's happening. Like it wasn't in any critics awards, and now it is because Golden Globes and SAG, and it's on all these BAFTA shortlists. Like,
well, the insane thing was like it was on the critics list, but it was never on Best Picture. It was like
it was
supporting
like
actress, cinematography, sound, like text, no Best Picture, and so that's what like with having the Oscars have like. No, up to 9 or 10 Best Pictures. I
wish this year was the first year of 10.
Oh yeah, isn't that next year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
but I just feel like this year it would have been like I wouldn't be worried about Judas and like Soul would get in, and I don't know. But if Minari does really well, I think Steven Yeun gets in. But if it doesn't, he doesn't. But also, I'm really nervous about like diversity being like backfiring somehow because it's the Academy. It's probably a thing that they're thinking about, and it like it makes me so angry that we have to think about it, but we do, guys. Because like if we really
long the Oscars has been, right? You know?
Yeah, so like if we really did get Chadwick, Riz, Delroy in, like that would be like insane. But I'm like, will they really do it?
Yeah, which is a perfect segue for director because I feel
if there's not 2 women nominated, they can just change their name to Sexist Awards. I'm sick of it. Yeah. There's no excuse this year. There's no excuse. If the Golden Globes can do it, the Oscars can do it. No? Yes?
Coming from the lady that's not a Golden Globe supporter.
I hate the Golden Globes.
Well, we have to be careful with saying if the Golden Globes can do it, the Oscars can do it, because then they'll nominate Sia for everything, and we really don't want that.
No.
I mean, I haven't seen the film, so I can't make any judgments on whether it's good.
We're not going.
I'm gonna make judgments.
So.
But no, like there's no. So I think director. There's 2 locks, and that's it. Everyone else is like rotating.
I think I disagree. I really do feel like David Fincher's a lock.
Yes. I thought you were talking about David Fincher. But...
No, she's talking about Zhao and Aaron Sorkin. So,
listen, I love Aaron Sorkin. He got me interested in like who was writing scripts growing up. But this movie's like
this is something I've been adamant on all year is his direction overall isn't great, but he has one particular scene that is like. I think his direction's flawless, and I feel like that is what everyone is going off of. Is just that one scene. Overall, no. But
what one scene?
The riot, like the second riot, like back and forth between Eddie and Mark, and then Sasha edited in and all that.
I thought that was more of an editing play.
But for me, all right, so at the top heavy, Zhao and Sorkin. Who are your other 3 right now, Kenzie, if you're predicting today?
Okay. If I'm predicting today, I would go Fincher, Spike Lee, and Emerald Fennell. I think.
If I'm today, I've got Fincher, Regina King, and Emerald Fennell. It's like I said, I think Promising Young Woman's going to continue to keep overperforming.
Oh,
and I think her direction.
Promising Young Woman doesn't overperform, I would take out Fennell and put in. I don't know. I think. But maybe Lee Isaac Chung.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Lee Isaac Chung's I think him and Spike Lee are the only of course, like you've got Paul Greengrass, like, hovering around.
Paul Greengrass is gonna we're gonna wake up and he's gonna be like the first person fucking named somehow. We're gonna be like, what
They're
the
just
fuck is happening?
They're going to walk up and they're going to say, Paul
you know what I would
Greengrass
do?
is in for News of the World, and now we're going to start the rest of the show.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I would do if I were presenting the Oscars and there was like one really bad nomination that I knew would make everyone else mad. I would just say, here's one person that's nominated for director, say Paul Greengrass, and then not do the rest of the director nominees until the very end.
How
that's
screwed up would that be if they actually like really did that? Like if
Okay,
they just did that with every category?
Okay, do you guys know what my idea to improve the Oscar telecast is?
What's that?
What?
Okay, so let's say it's the year you have all 10 nominees. Like you have to have 10 nominations for Best Picture. One by one, you say what order they came in.
Oh my god!
Throughout the broadcast,
I
you're
would
just
like, exactly, and you just eliminate them. Number
9.
10.
Yeah. So then at the end, you're down to 2, and you're like, "Holy fucking shit!" And then that's
awesome.
you know what? And like people would be into it. Everyone would turn into Howie on their couch. Like everyone would be Howie from Untitled Chapter.
I want them to do. I want Howie to
amazing.
do it though, with chicks on the stage with briefcases. Like, just can we add that to it too?
Yeah, like
the Oscar is inside the briefcase. Like,
I
have
many ideas how to improve it, but this is my best one because if you're invested in the Oscar race, you're like changing your predictions as they're reading them out.
Yeah,
it affects the rest of the award show because if your Best Picture. Like you're kicked out, number 10. You're literally number 10. You're like, I'm not gonna win director. But then if you do, you're like, what is happening?
Well, it'd be like Mank. It's number 9, and they open the briefcase. You know what? There's no Oscar in it. You know what I mean?
You know what? Steven Soderbergh is producing this year's Oscars. Who knows what he'll do?
He'll have a heist in the middle of it. That's how you have to get to the Oscar. You have to like have a heist.
You have to steal from the Bellagio.
Are we not surprised that Paul Greengrass hasn't made a movie about the ending of the Oscars when La La Land won?
No, because like nobody died, so he's like, I don't have to make this.
That's true. He'll be directing Tom Hanks in a new movie called COVID-19 very soon.
Honestly, you know what I think? You know what I think? It would be maybe it's like Chloe, Aaron, Fincher, Greengrass, Spike Lee. I still get this sickening feeling they're gonna be like, there's one female director nominated.
I don't think Spike's getting nominated.
I think if Defy Bloods continues to like overperform everywhere, he's getting in.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I mean, I would see Spike getting in over Fennell, King. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. Like, I feel like they'll be like, you know what? We'll give you Spike Lee, but we're not giving you more than one woman.
Especially because he's never won.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's never won. Had he won a director's Oscar, I'd be like, it doesn't matter. Like, they're not going to put him in. But because he hasn't, they're like, let's just keep giving him chances. Like, Netflix.
And I just want to go on the record and say that Shaka King not getting more love is just a disgrace. I personally...
Shout out Warner Brothers. Man, they're great.
Hear me out. Would this movie be doing better if it was an A24 production, an Amazon production, or stayed at Warner Brothers?
About the same.
With the time frame, about the same. If this was like a Christmas release, I think it'd be blowing up right now.
You know what this should have been? You know what this should have been? They should have put it available to rent on Christmas, and then put it on HBO Max the way they're doing it this weekend.
They should have just done what they did with HBO. I mean, in my personal Nomadland. They should have done the same thing they did with. They made Nomadland very accessible to like the critics across the globe, and then the critics raved about, no matter what, but like it missed on so many because it's so late in the game. Also, they missed the boat not having it released last Friday because like the Globes came out, the SAG came out. They should have dropped it on Friday. They should have flip-flopped it with that Jared Leto led Oscar.
But then how would Jared Leto have been nominated?
I don't even know.
For saying, oh poop, I made a boo-boo. That's his Oscar line.
Or having a strange boner pointed out by Denzel Washington in the middle of the movie.
But wouldn't it be cool if there were 2 kings nominated? Huh?
Right? Regina King, Shaka King.
No, but Shaka King should be...
That's too much diversity for the Oscars. Calm down.
He should really be in more
100%
conversations.
I mean, honestly, of the ones in the conversation, it would be like 1A, 1B for me. Like, honestly, with what I'm looking at personally. because I think the direction of Judas is just mind-blowing good. It's fantastic. And it's definitely better than, I don't know, the rest of this mumbo jumbo. I'm going to be extremely upset with the director in some aspects. I mean, Mank, I don't feel like Fincher. I know his work is good in the film, but like, give me Shaka King. Like, Spike Lee, I'm not a fan of the
Well,
Five Bloods.
I'm obsessed with
Shaka
David
King.
Fincher. Obsessed. But I don't even want him to be a lock. I don't want him to win for this.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And then for me, it's like,
I think he's doing the exact same thing that Hooper, whoever did to him back in 2010, where Fincher just like won everything, and then Hooper won DGA and Oscar. I
don't know if he'll win DGA.
I think Aaron Sorkin's going to win this stupid award, but that's just.
I don't know. I feel like
I would love Chloe Zhao to win. Because,
I hope this year is a split between director and picture, because I don't know. I know Trial of Chicago 7 is going to win. So, like, give this to Chloe Zhao.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of splitting Best Picture, I mean, I feel like we're pretty top heavy, right? You know what I mean? Nomadland, Trial, Minari, The Five Bloods, One Night in Miami, Ma Rainey's. We got Promising Young Woman. I think Soul's not getting nominated. Mank is just, I think Mank's a wild card. And then, of course, News of the World. Just shoot me now. But Jacob, thoughts on Best Picture?
I think for right now, my top 5 is Trial, Nomadland, One Night, Ma Rainey, and then Promising Young Woman in at 5. It's like I said, I think those are 5 definite locks, with Minari to 5, Mank, and then Judas kind of pulling up in the rear. But it's like you said, I think we all kind of know who's going to win. I think it would be a shock if Trial didn't win. But I mean, I think any of those top,
if it didn't win, it would be
any of those top 5 could win. I think, I still think if Promising Young Woman just really hits, I think that could surprise some people. I think One Night in Miami could surprise some people.
If One Night in Miami wasn't an Amazon movie, I would have it in the top 3.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because my parents loved it. Like, all these older people love it. And like, Regina King just won recently. Like, it has like a lot of good things working for it. And the actors are like in a lot of other things like in the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. So they're like familiar people. But just because it's an Amazon movie, I'm like, it's like getting nominated, but it's not winning.
So
I really think Ma Rainey's is like a lock for nomination. Mm-hmm. I just don't think it's going to win.
So here's the thing about what is going to happen Oscar night. They always start with supporting actor. And if Daniel Kaluuya wins, I think it could be just up in the air for everything else. If Sasha wins, Trial is going to do great. And then if Leslie Odom comes out of nowhere, I think One Night in Miami is going to do great.
Leslie Odom's already got himself an Oscar for that night, so go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're talking about. What if it's that song from that Kristen Wiig movie?
I love boobies.
Yep. But it just sucks because, like, I know Trial of Chicago 7's like in the best position to win. Like, it's the only one that has SAG, Golden Globes, critics, and is on the Bafta shortlist.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately.
But what will win at Bafta?
Promising Young Woman.
Is Promising Young Woman, though, being submitted as Best British Film?
Oh, I don't know.
Because if it is, it wins that, but I don't think it wins picture. But it's just like weird because all the other ones are such American movies.
Mm-hmm. Mank, for no reason.
It's not for no reason.
Promising Young Woman's in for Best Film. No. Okay, no. Kenzie, I love Mank, and I really want to watch it again. I think my score might go up, but I just meant like Mank, like out of nowhere. But Promising Young Woman is in for like Best Film on the long list. So,
but is it in for Best British Film also? Because there are 2 categories. Like the favorite one, Best British.
Yes,
film.
it is. Yes, it is.
It is? Okay, so like I feel like it would win Best British Film.
Like split with that, whatever.
And then they don't.
I don't know. The Father could win Best British Film.
Yeah.
Oh, you know
That's
what?
true.
It'll probably be The Father. But I don't.
The Mauritanian.
I think Promising Young Woman, like, I don't think it has a shot at picture.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I
Like,
think this is a trial.
I would
Minari,
love
No Man
that,
Land.
but like the Academy is mostly men. They're not ready to like listen to what this movie is saying, like, at all.
I personally feel like Minari should win Best Picture.
Yeah,
Period.
that would be so.
And I
like,
think it should win because of the message of the film is so strong and it's so powerful. It's moving. It tells literally the story of a minority trying to make it in America and just not giving up and fighting and scratching your way and showing that diversity of being a minority in America is very hard to get to where, you know, that film goes and the obstacles placed in front. It's just a powerful film. It's just, the message is way stronger than just about any other film outside of Judas for me, message wise, that comes across that I feel like is so powerful and so moving to me.
I do just want to say though, for the list that I have for Best Picture, like who's in the hunt, this year is way, like, I pretty much like every movie. Like, I don't like News of the World, but I like everything else. Like, I don't really like Trial of Chicago 7, but I don't think it's a bad movie.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Like it's not my kind of movie. Like, I don't know. I thought it was going to be my kind of movie, but like Judas was the story I wanted from Trial of Chicago 7, and like the messages it like focused in on, and more power to Shaka King and the story he was telling. Also, if Judas and the Black Messiah gets a Best Picture nomination, it would be Ryan Coogler's first Oscar nomination.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which really surprised me. He wasn't nominated for Black Panther, but
he was like a producer, but not like a.
Yeah, it was Kevin Feige, which I guess makes sense, but kind of sucks.
No.
All right, folks.
But I don't know, and I just feel like this year, you can start to see already the diversity qualifications could work and not change anything, because this is a great year of quality movies, and most of them, not all of them, are very diverse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree. There's a lot of strong
and women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, because you got No Man Land and women, you know what I mean? That's diverse. And then of course you have, you know, Minari, One Night in Miami, Ma Rainey, Defy Bloods. It's I like it. Any closing thoughts before we go? Jacob, the floor is yours.
Okay, my one closing thought is we all recognize Trial of Chicago 7 is probably going to win, but let's not belittle the film into calling it Green Book. It is not Green Book. Okay, Trial of Chicago 7, for whatever people think, it's still a good movie. It's still a well-made movie. I think it's more along the lines of King's Speech or The Artist rather than a Green Book win. And that's my closing thought. I hate the Green Book comparison. If you're going to call this anything, call it King's Speech or The Artist or something along those lines rather than calling it Green Book, which I feel like would be belittling the film. That's my closing thoughts.
Kenzie.
Just, let's nominate more than one woman for director. That's, this is like the easiest year to do it. If the Golden Globes, who literally never do it, could do it, we can see it at the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
And then have David Fincher win out of nowhere. But,
He will.
My closing thought is this, or go ahead.
I was just going to say, since I've started like doing my predictions like months ago, I don't think I've taken Trial or David Fincher off my top spot. I just think it's very likely.
My closing thoughts is if Anthony Hopkins wins Best Actor, please do me a favor and watch the film before you criticize him winning over Chadwick. That's all I'm going to say.
And if Chadwick wins, watch the film before you criticize it being a posthumous Oscar.
Yeah, but I don't think that anybody's really. I just meant in the fact that there's going to be a cry if Hopkins wins, and Hopkins gives one of the best performances I've ever seen in my life.
If they could just make that movie accessible for people to watch, that would be great. So
I think
would stop texting me being like, can I watch this movie?
How much did you rub it in her face that you saw it?
A lot, but also my favorite thing about The Father is actually, well, there's two things. Olivia Coleman's performance and the production design. So please put it in production design.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to talk to my mom about either one of those things because I feel like it spoils the movie in a sense.
Agreed.
But so if you're listening and you haven't watched it,
sorry. Did she freeze? She froze for me. Look at that.
Yeah, she's frozen.
All right, folks, do us a favor. You froze mid-scene. That was hilarious. Like you froze like mid like this. Like you
am I still frozen?
No, I mean, we can see you moving now, but we were just telling you that you froze.
Well,
but
I was still saying, watch it whenever it's available. It's like March
26.
Jesus.
It's coming in theaters. All right, folks, do us a favor. Head on over to Twitter. Give Kenzie a follow at Kenz Venuno. Give Jacob a follow at tbear57. Give myself a follow at Ricky Blair _. Thank you so much. We'll probably do another one of these possibly after some announcements of winners. It'll all
only
depend.
have a month.
But yeah, so we're closing in on the Oscar nominations. We will make sure to do a live Oscar show the morning of the nominations. But thank you for tuning in. And until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Oh, he left. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.